I'm Logan Franklin. I'm GAT. I chose GAT Sport because they're a highly established, reputable brand whose mission is to take the athlete to the highest level. This resonates with me because my ultimate dream is to become a Mr. Olympia champion one day. GAT Sport has devoted over 20 years of bringing the highest quality products to the market, focusing on performance and life extension. I am Logan Franklin, the Texas Oak, and I am GAT Sport.
Hey everybody, welcome to another awesome episode of Ask the Texas Oak, starring Logan Franklin and brought to you by GAT Sport. And now, GAT Sport athlete and Classic Physique pro, Logan Franklin. What's up, Logan?
What's up?
Yeah, great seeing you in Columbus at the Arnold Classic. You were putting in a lot of work over the weekend at the GAT Sport booth. Every time I saw you, there were fans all around you. I busted in and interrupted for an interview. I appreciate you doing that for me. But yeah, so what was the expo like? It looked like it was pretty hopping, especially on Saturday.
Oh yeah, it was a great time. You know, I love going to the Arnold Classic. In my opinion, it's the funnest show / expo to go to of the year. So every year that I get to go there, it's always special.
Yeah, right on. And the contest itself, you did watch Classic Physique because that's your division. Man, Ramon Dino finally gets his first big win. Congratulations to him. And I think like we were talking about, I think this sets up a rivalry between Ramon and Ernst that I think we're going to see go on for a while now, maybe a couple of years to come.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could see they'll be up at near the top for a while. So it's good that there's some great physiques that are starting to really develop in this division for sure.
Yeah, and it was good to see one of the OGs, Alex Cambronero, who won this a few years ago, still in the game in third place because a lot of people he was not in the conversation when we were doing our previews. Like, yes, because people forget about you after you stop winning very, very quickly.
Oh yeah, people have a very short memory, it seems.
100%. So a lot of the fans that came up to you must have been really like, Logan, when are we going to see you next? Because it's been a I think, what did we say? You've been on stage since November 2021 now, is that right?
Yeah, November 2021. Sean Ray Hawaiian Classic was the last show that I competed in won.
But the good news is you've already announced you're going to be back on stage at the Texas Pro in August. And was there another one? Was there another one too?
The Texas Pro, the Mr. Olympia, and the Hawaii Pro, Sean Ray's show again.
Oh, very loyal to Sean. Sean will appreciate that very much. And yeah, I found out something. We have something in common, man. I didn't realize your wife is Cuban. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I think I instantly assumed and call me a bum that she's from Texas like you.
No, she's from Miami.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go.
Born
That
and
explains
raised.
everything. Gotta say, Texas is largely Mexican American because Texas used to be part of Mexico for many, many years, hundreds of years. Yeah. Does she say coño a lot? Coño?
I try to get her to speak English the majority of the time. So
that's their like catch-all swear word. It means like everything, like shit, F, coño, coño.
Coño.
Coño, coño. Anyway, I'm sure now that I've said it, you're probably going to be hearing it more and more. So anyway, we're here to serve the viewers, of course, who want to ask the Texas Oak. So let's get to some questions. First one, we saw the weight limits for Classic increase twice in the first 2 years of the division, each time adding 5 pounds for the pros. Since then, the weights per height have remained the same. Do you think they will ever bump them up again? Do you think they should bump them up?
I'm not sure if they ever will bump them up, but in my opinion, I think the weight parameters are pretty good where they are. My thing is just keeping everyone accountable and the integrity of the rules to make sure that it's consistent and that everyone is being held to the same rules. Being heighted correctly and no one slipping past, no matter who it is, like whether it's a big name or a nobody. I think that, it should be very consistent and not allowing, those that are cheating to continue to cheat.
I remember talking to Breon about this, the weight limit thing. And I asked him a couple of years back, what about just taking away weight limits completely and just going for a classic look? And one thing he felt would happen very quickly was we would stop seeing the incredible condition that is consistently in Classic, you don't, we had 59 guys on the Olympia stage. Not one guy was out of shape, not one.
Yeah.
Whereas other divisions, you see people, I'm going to come in for a fuller look and they're puffy and watery. You don't see that in Classic because for most of you guys, it's tough to get to the weight. It's right, you're right there on the edge. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
seeing some guys every year, it's getting tougher and tougher. So, okay. Training question for you, Logan. What do you think of the push pull legs training split that's regained some popularity in recent years? Some people love the fact that there's no overlap, while others say it's too many muscle groups to train in one workout and still give them all equal time and energy. What do you think about that?
I kind of agree with the last statement. It's a little bit too much to do everything. I've actually never ran a push pull legs because I'm like, okay, well, when do you train arms? I like training arms. I like the bro split. I've been doing a bro split for the last 18 years. Maybe that's why I'm still small, or maybe not. So uh, I'll
Yeah.
stick to my bro split and I'll train, how I want to train and enjoy this because at the end of the day, that's what this is for. And that's why I started was enjoyment and therapy. So I'm going to stick to what I like. And that's not to say that, push pull legs is wrong or what they would say, like I said, a bro split's wrong. Uh, I think as long as you're in the gym training, squeezing the muscle, stretching the muscle, you're doing better than those that aren't. So,
Yeah. So the one thing you bring up that was a good point was when you do arms. Well, obviously, if you're doing biceps after you've just gone through an entire back workout, maybe even through traps and rear delts in there, an hour has gone by, maybe even longer. You've been doing rows, deadlifts, pull downs, chin ups, shrugs, and then you finally get to do your
yeah.
biceps. So for
Yeah.
someone who has genetically strong arms, doing it, and chest, the push day is the same thing. All the chest exercises, all the shoulder exercises. Okay, now you can do triceps. For someone who has weaker arms, I wonder if it could hold them back because they're pretty exhausted by the time they get to them.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Using it as a secondary focus is, in my opinion, it's not going to allow you to develop elite level arms. Um, and I like to see great arms. Whenever you're posing, when someone's posing, I think arms make up a hell of a lot of the pose. That's part of flexing. Uh, and there seems to be a lot of that out there nowadays. Like, not a lot of guys have very well developed arms. You might see a lot of big arms, but the arm development itself is all over the place. They'll have imbalances, but the arm is big forearms, but no biceps, or one bicep head is way more dominant than the other, and there's no correct proportion or old school proportion. Um, so you'll see a lot of that, and I guess that could be due to the fact that people are doing this push pull legs, and rather than having the separate individual workouts for each group and being able to isolate the weak points to bring them up. But I'm a true artist. I really try to target specific muscles like an ice pick and just chisel away to create my shape and my proportion. So honestly, I'm going to keep doing how I'm training, and if those want to keep doing push pull legs and stay having certain weak areas, then let them keep doing it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say for certain because I haven't talked to every pro, but I I don't know one pro who's told me he does push pull legs. I do it just because it's a time thing, whatever. But that's a different story. But
You said you don't know a single pro that does push pull legs?
consistently, do you?
Oh, I know quite a few,
Oh,
a good majority of pros that are doing that now.
oh, good. Well, it's good that they're trying something different. Oh, okay. Well, I stand very much corrected. I guess it doesn't hurt them. But
Yeah.
they might be having some secret arm workout on another day we don't know about. No.
Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? When you bring up the imbalances, the one that really makes me cringe with the arms. Well, I hate when someone turns to the side and they have no hamstrings. That bugs the shit out of me.
Yeah.
The quads from the front, like whoa, and then they turn the side. Like, mother, where's your hams? And I
Mhm.
see a lot of guys now from the front. Bicep shots look great. They turn to the side, hit a side chest, flat tricep, hit a side
Flat
tricep,
tricep.
flat tricep. Like damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck?
That's not bodybuilding. So next question about condition year round. You stay very lean year round, what looks to be about, to me, 4 to 5 weeks out from stage ready. Do you think all competitors should stay in that kind of condition, or is that just your personal preference versus bulking more?
Um, hmm. I think that, each individual should go with whatever helps them progress the best. Being in classic physique, we have weight parameters just like we spoke about. And I'm subject to weighing 222 pounds. So I have to make sure that I make that weight every single year that I plan on competing in this division. So I'm already at the cusp. So size is not a game that I'm playing. It's more balance and making sure that I have every single muscle completed and popping. And I want the physique to flow timelessly. So I'm not chasing size. Don't worry. So staying leaner in the off season, it also helps. It helps. I feel like it helps with my digestion. I'm not shuttling ridiculous amounts of food in. I'm not blowing my waist out. I want to keep a really tight waist. I like to be able to pose whenever I want to pose and practice on that, because that is also a very lost art even right now. I mean, you see at the Arnold Classic, there was a handful of good routines. I saw Samson had a really impressive routine for an open bodybuilder. Who else? Andrew Jack's routine was fun to watch.
You think had the
And
best
that's all that I can really remember. Those are the ones that really stood out to me. So, but even in the classic division this year, I didn't see much hard work put into their posing routines. So, I would like to see guys, doing more of that in the off season and bringing up their skills and accuracy of hitting each pose and the flow, the movement between poses, and matching it with their music and coordinating it. So, but staying lean also, I have obligations to companies, supplement companies, GAT Sport, my clothing sponsor, Dark Sport. So, at any given time they could have me come out and do photo shoots. And, I'm a professional and I want to look like a professional whenever you see me and take photos. So, it is important to me to maintain that appearance. And, getting super out of shape and losing all my lines and detail in the off season isn't something that I'm really caring to do. So
when these photo shoots come up, they don't give you much notice, do they?
really none. I didn't even know I was doing a photo shoot at the Arnold until I got to the Arnold. They said, "Hey, come in shaved. Come in shaved." I said, "All right." And they said, "Are you ready to shoot?" I said, "I can shoot." So I might not be, hard as nails and peeled and on the gear to compete. I'm a soft TRT oak right now. So, but the lines and the leanness is there. And I look healthy, and that's what matters. I look healthy, and I am healthy, and at the end of the day, that's what matters.
I would say most bodybuilders I know aren't even comfortable. They're taking their shirt off like 9, 10 months out of the year. That's how much it's true. They'll only be lean enough where they see abs and stuff, maybe like 2 months out of the year, if that. So
Yeah,
why not be able to show your body that you work so hard on? I'm speaking as a former fat ass. So here we go. When trying to gain raw size for someone who is still in need of it, do you recommend mostly heavy straight sets, or should it also be doing intensity boosters like drop sets, supersets, force reps, and so on?
I don't think intensity. You said intensity booster, but I'm just gonna say straight intensity. I don't think intensity necessarily means drop sets and supersets. Intensity can just mean how well you're squeezing the muscle and how you're going through the set. Not just going from A to B. If you're doing a bench press, just dropping the weight and shoving it up as fast as you can, but rather slowing that movement down and really demanding the muscle to work hard, and only using the muscle that's being targeted. I believe that's intensity. And if you're doing it correctly, you might not need to do drop sets and supersets. Each set, if you're thinking about doing 10 to 12 reps per set, no matter the weight, I'm going to make that set as hard as I can. That's intensity. If I have a weight and I go, oh shit, I could probably do this weight 15 to 20 reps, maybe 22 reps. Okay, well, how do I make it to where I can barely get 12? That's intensity. Take that same weight that you could do 20 times and make it to where, wow, I barely got 12. And whenever you do that, that means you're squeezing it so well. You're squeezing and you're stretching it while you're squeezing it. And that's what's going to build that muscle maturity. That's what's going to build the separations, the striations, the graininess, squeezing that muscle. That's what's going to make it pop. So, yeah, that's just how I train. Though I've been training like that for my entire time working out. I'm not a very strong lifter, but the way that I perform each rep is, I would like to say, as close to perfection as I can every single rep.
So the thing about heavy straight sets versus something as extreme as those giant sets that Milos would have athletes do, where I think it can be 10 or more exercises in a row with no rest in between. So I'm thinking, by the time you're like 3, 4, 5 exercises in, you can't be using much weight. There's just no way.
Yeah.
So I just wonder how effective does. I don't know the answer to this, but I wonder, does the muscle really not know how much weight it's lifting? It's just feeling stress and tension, or would it be better? What do you think?
I don't mean to cut you off. My apologies.
No worries.
To answer your question the best that I can is, don't think about lightweight or just heavyweight, but you want to use weight that you know is going to challenge the muscle. Weight that you know is enough weight to force the muscle to stretch while you're still squeezing it, but still being able to contract the muscle fully under the tension. So it's different for everybody, in my opinion. You gotta, obviously everyone's gonna have different strengths, but connection with the muscle is the most important.
You stress that a lot, and I don't think it can be stressed enough, honestly, because
really, I really don't. And not many people, it seems, actually practice this method. It seems like everyone's just focused on what the scale says and how much weight they're moving, and if it looks cool for Instagram. I don't give a shit. I'll post a video of me curling 25-pound dumbbells, but I've got 22-inch arms almost, and I could easily curl 50, 60-pound dumbbells, but it would look sloppy and not the way that I would want to curl the weight. So I think social media probably has a little bit to do with it, and people are constantly chasing clout and trying to get engagement and followers. I think that, if people just slowed things down and didn't worry so much on the weight, but like I said, the squeeze and the stretch, we would see a lot more old school physiques nowadays.
Or more physiques in general, because I train at a very big commercial gym, and there's a lot. Bless you, there's a lot of young guys and girls in there filming every damn thing they do, and a lot of them are strong, I guess, for their body weight, but it's very clear they're not engaging the muscle, because they're also putting up posing pictures in the locker room or whatever. And I'm like, you just posted a deadlift of 400 or 500 pounds, but you have no back. Or you just did a squat. I just saw you squat 4 or 5. You got legs like my pinky. What's the point?
Yeah.
But they just don't get, damn that Instagram.
Another thing, what you could note for anyone starting out, or that's kind of moderate, at the moderate level, it's still thinking that way. Just remember, strength does not show on stage, but the way you squeeze that muscle is going to show on stage. So, that's what's even more important about the way that I train is sure, somebody might come up to me at the expo, which I had a ton of people do, and they look massive, and then they'll post the pictures, and people in the comments will be like, you're making so-and-so look tiny. And I'm like, well, what happens when the shirt comes off, and then we start hitting poses. So just think about that. I want these guys to not focus on how much they're weighing and how big they're getting, because everybody seems to just becoming bigger versions of themselves and not progressing with the art of bodybuilding. And it's not weightlifting. We're bodybuilding. We're sculpting. We're trying to develop proportions, shapes to where your body looks a specific way and poses. So I don't know. I just have a lot of passion for old school bodybuilding and the way that, I feel the physique should look, and that's just how I feel.
I totally agree because I've seen so many people that I've watched. They've gotten much, much bigger over a year or two, but it's a bigger version of saying crappy physique. They still have
Yeah.
all the same weak points, the same proportions. When they could have said, I could see my I have no calves or I have no this or that. They could have put more time and energy on that. Instead, they just did mega cycles and shoveled in the food and got,
Yeah.
gained 30 pounds, but they still look like shit. They're just a bigger shitty physique. So
With a more blown out waist, so, and that's
100%.
the problem with so much food. I think about the guys like Samir Bannout, Sean Ray, Flex Wheeler, uh, anyone before them, Arnold, all these guys. I don't remember hearing about them constantly sitting there and eating until they're so uncomfortable every single time. And oh my God, I gotta be 20% body fat in the off season to gain mass. No, these guys stayed in shape. Whenever you saw them, you would be like, wow, okay, they are professionals. They really live this lifestyle, and it's something to aspire to be like.
We didn't even see a big gut come along until maybe the mid 90s. Up until then, everybody could pull a vacuum. They all had maybe some of them didn't have genetically as narrow waist because of their hip bones or whatever, but there were no guts. Nobody had a gut. I mean,
Yeah.
look, go watch Pumping Iron, guys. If you haven't seen Pumping Iron, shame on you, anybody out there. They all had small waist. Every single one of those guys, they could all pull a deep vacuum. And yeah, I didn't see them at like a buffet 6 times a day until they couldn't breathe and they're sweating, and that's a
and
more
they
recent.
looked and they looked bigger.
Yeah. I
They
mean,
looked so much bigger. Why? Because every muscle is completed. You know, they're not just big and lacking groups. It's okay, they might look small, but once you start posing and you go, "Oh wow, each and every muscle is maximized." The aesthetics are maximized. Um, that's what you should be chasing. That's what you should be striving for.
who's your favorite physique from that era?
From which era?
Let's say anybody who was in the movie Pumping Iron. I
In the
guess.
pumping iron? Oh, it's Arnold.
Well,
Arnold.
I was gonna say anyway. I was gonna take him out of the vote because that's too easy. Other than Arnold,
Besides Arnold,
yeah.
hmm,
He was barely in the movie because politically
may,
some shit was going down with him at the time.
barely in the movie. Can they just have been on stage like Serge Nubray? Okay.
That's what if they cut him out of the movie pretty much. And I just
Yeah.
saw some on YouTube. There was like lost footage from Pumping Iron, and dude, he looked every bit as good as Arnold, maybe better.
I
God,
think he looked fantastic. I think he looked amazing.
yeah,
Amazing.
that was classic. That was a classic physique, just round muscle bellies, tiny
Super full chest, crazy arms, and they both what happened? They both overpowered the shoulders. You didn't see guys back in the days where their shoulders were so big that it made their chest look small, made their arms look small. That's the proportion that I'm talking about. Not just being big everywhere, but being completed everywhere, being able to hit any pose, whether they know how to hit the pose or not. The ability to do the pose because everything is completed is what matters. So
Yeah.
then it's all just okay. Well, how much do you practice the artistry of posing and presentation?
Yeah.
Then that's
Interesting.
what they need to do next.
Not one man in that movie had a weak chest. Not one.
Exactly. And a lot of it, like I said, a lot of it is because they kept their shoulders slightly tapered back. They weren't so focused on getting big, bolder shoulders. They focused on the completeness of the shoulder, making sure every head was the same. So therefore, when they're in the rear double bicep shots or their side chest shots, it's completely round, or you know what I'm saying? It looks like the bottom of an apple, for instance. And the arms they flow so well with the physique too. So
Final question, and this is somebody inspired this. Somebody whose gym you train at. There seems to be a trend lately of blending food to get it down easier. Things like rice and chicken, for instance. Do you think the body digests food the same if you drink it instead of eating it? Is one better than the other? Have you tried this yourself, aside from those shakes you make on YouTube with like 30 ingredients?
Man, I have never tried blending up a chicken shake, okay?
Chicken shake. Delicious.
I've seen was it Anton Antipov, is that how you say his last name?
Antoine
Forgive me
Vaillant?
if I say it wrong. He's a cool guy.
Antoine Vaillant?
I've seen a YouTube video of him doing it a few years back where he blended up. There's a video on YouTube where he's like, oh, chicken shakes, and he's blending up chicken breasts. Oh,
Wasn't
no, I
Hunter,
don't know.
Hunter does that,
What's
doesn't
that?
he? Or wasn't Hunter doing that?
I'm not sure if Hunter does that, but if he does, that is one nasty motherfucker.
No,
But hey, more power to you. More power. If you can just drink it down and get it down
I
like
don't
that.
know the answer because I'm not a nutritionist, but I think there's something about chewing food and like enzymes are released in your
Yes.
saliva that
Yes,
doesn't
exactly.
happen if you just chug it down.
Exactly. That's why I chew my food. You got to really chew it like fucking 20 fucking times because your mouth releases natural digestive enzymes through the saliva to start already being able to absorb it once it gets swallowed. So I guess you're going to have a little bit less digestion if you are just drinking the food down every single meal rather than actually doing the body's function, chewing it, breaking it down, and then consuming it.
Most disgusting shake was Mike Matarazzo back in the day. He used to put 4 or 5 cans of tuna with water. Tuna. I could probably drink a chicken shake without vomiting if I had to. I guarantee you I could not drink a tuna shake without puking all over. Oh my God. Gross. Well, there's your answer, folks.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Don't try this at
I'll
home. Or if you
stick to
do,
chewing.
yeah. Another thing about chewing your food, especially if you're dieting, is your body senses being full. There's like a gap. There's a gap of like 20 minutes or something. So if you eat your food really fast, you're still going to be hungry, and you're going to want to keep eating more, and you'll have more cravings. But if you take your time and eat it slowly, good luck. I know you're starving on a diet, but it's gonna help curb some of that, so you won't have to be dying of hunger all the time and miserable.
Yeah.
making everyone around you
I don't
miserable.
know. I would rather be hungry than drink down a chicken shake, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh man, just thinking about it, it sounds awful.
Yeah. The only circumstance I would say, remember the late Sean Roden, he had his jaw broken, I think in 2017,
Yeah.
and he had to do it, but he had no choice. It was either that or he's not going to eat anything. So
Yeah,
right.
he was assaulted by a female.
Is that what
So
it was? She broke his jaw?
I think so. I think a chick just punched him in the mouth. So
God. Jeez.
not cool.
I had no. I should have known the story of how the jaw got broken, but thank you. Now I know. Wow. Yeah, women are no joke.
Yeah.
When they're pissed off, woof, get out of the way, guys. Anyway, that is it. So, guys, if you have questions for Logan for the next episode, please leave them below. Or if you just have any comments or whatever, we love feedback. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell. And Logan, thank you so much. Another episode of Ask Texas Oak, presented by GAT Sport. And we'll see you here next time.
Later.
Hey, did you like that video? Smash that like button, subscribe to MD, and please comment down below. Thanks for watching.